In 2017, 8-year-old Curtis Coleman Jr. passed away from an overdose of methamphetamine. Why in the world is an 8-year-old passing away from an overdose like this? Well, what had happened was his dad had a brick of meth and he mistook it for a breakfast bar, therefore consuming it, and an 8-year-old tragically passed away. And we look back on why this is the case, why is such a tragic thing the case, and there's a lot of roots behind this and the story behind these drugs, which goes to drug trafficking. So drug trafficking is the massive black market economic driver that is affecting the entire world in a way that the average person is mostly unaware of. So why does this matter? Let's take a look into some data. According to the CDC, over 100,000 people have died from drug overdoses from April of 2020 to April of 2021, which is over a 28% increase from the year prior. This is large scale, it's growing, and it is tragic. So to preview this speech, we're going to discuss the extremity of drug trafficking and addiction. We're going to talk about the depth of drug trafficking's causes and its effects, and inside knowledge and awareness that is growing through the media in different creative ways. So first, let's discuss the scale of drug trafficking and addiction and how it's much larger than we could even begin to comprehend. According to Benjamin Mackey, a journalist for the Inquiry's Journal with a bachelor's degree in criminology law, drug cartels are smuggling narcotics to the U.S. through underground tunnels, hidden vehicle compartments, inside traffickers' bodies, and even carrier pigeons. And this just goes to show that the war on smuggling is intensifying, it is getting harder for law enforcement to track down. And this is a life or death thing for smugglers because they oftentimes would rather go down and die than to get caught. So these types of drugs that are extremely addictive include methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, and synthetic opioids. Those are the main, they're not limited to that, but those are the ones that are being trafficked. These addictions derail and ruin careers of people, relationships of people, and families. Addiction is an extremely tragic thing. So Alan Ferrer, a journalist from the New York Times, wrote an article of Emma Coronel Asparo, who is drug lord El Chapo's wife, and about her role in trafficking. And in her role, she helped smuggle over 450 kilograms of cocaine, 90 of heroin, and 90,000 of marijuana. So one unique thing about drug trafficking is it is largely run by men. So the fact that a woman were to have done this shows that this is only a small, minute fraction of the war on drugs and the volume of drugs, specifically in the Sinaloa cartel, which is El Chapo's cartel. So the causes and effects of global drug trafficking are deeper than meets the eye. First, drug trafficking and drug trade are sources of immense violence. So cartels are usually go hand in hand with gangs. So within these gangs, Michael Sean Winters, a journalist and author focused on the Catholic population, interviews immigrants on why they flee from Mexico to the U.S. And a lot of them discuss the violence in these towns, the violence that they have gotten, that their family members have gotten entangled in, and now poses a threat to their own family. There is violence against media outlets. For example, these cartels do not want any media out there or the media to know anything of what they're doing. So Benjamin Mackey, who we talked about earlier, also highlighted that reliable media on cartels is so hard to find because the cartels violently target them through bombings and killings of newspaper headquarters, and TV stations. So also behind the scenes, drug traffickers join these cartels for oftentimes very justifiable reasons. While it's still illegal, Winters also discussed the background of why gangs are so prevalent, explaining how young men get caught up within these cartels from a young age for largely family financial reasons. So for example, maybe their family members are involved, so they just get brought in and that is their life set up for them. Or financial reasons that the only way that they can support their family financially is through being a part of these cartels. So within this drug trafficking idea, there's a lot of media coming out that tells the story of drug trafficking. For example, TV shows such as Narcos, which shows the life of Pablo Escobar in the Medellin cartel, or the El Chapo TV series, show the Sinaloa cartel. It shows how violent and large scale these drug trafficking cartels are from the base. And then we see kind of the effects of these drug cartels in nonfiction documentaries that show real life drug trade. So these shows include Drugs Incorporated by National Geographic and Dope on Netflix, which are both great shows that really highlight from a real point of view what is going on from beginning to end from the side of users and law enforcement. So to conclude, drug trafficking matters because it's all around us and has already or likely will affect someone all of us might know. And drug trafficking and its effects are immense, and the reasons and consequences of it are complex and are constantly evolving. Information about these is through creativity media are growing and growing, and as we get as time goes on, this is just going to be bigger and more part of everyday life. Thank you and have a great day.